Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day to start things off. The creator of Cardano says the smart contract platform will become technologically superior to Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and every other blockchain in the industry this year. In a new Periscope video on the future of Cardano, Charles Hoskinson says advancements in smart contracts and wallets in recent years have been revolutionary. And he believes Cardano is pulling all the pieces together to become the most advanced blockchain in existence. The improvements are poised to make Cardano's native crypto asset ADA, or ADA, the best cryptocurrency on the planet, according to Hoskinson, who also co-created Ethereum. He said, "These are amazing achievements in a very short period of time. They were incredibly expensive in terms of thought, time, and of course money. But they were achievements nonetheless, and they are achievements that have moved the entire state of the industry forward." So this year is the year you will see all those components come together. And this is the year you see Cardano basically ascend to the best cryptocurrency in the world. There really is going to be nothing on the market that's as good as what we're delivering this year, because at the end of the day, we have it all. We'll have a loading system, we'll have a new smart contract system, we'll have a multi-standard asset standard, we'll have an industry standard, we'll have the scalability required to meet all the growth demands that we need. We have a very clear interoperability story. We have a clear idea of how we're going to communicate with other systems. We have a great way for academics to get involved. We have a great way for the community to get involved. GC talks a lot. And no matter that group you're in, whether you're a group of people who buy ADA or trade it, whether you're in the group of people who develop on the platform, the people who govern the platform, or the people who operate the platform, we're going to be the best in class in all of those things. And that's what we're delivering. And that's what we're committed to deliver throughout 2020. End quote. As confident as Hoskinson is in the operational superiority of Cardano, he cautions that this doesn't mean it automatically becomes the most popular or widely used platform in the industry, but he just said that it would all happen this year. That, he says, will depend on the success of the Cardano Foundation and the commercial venture incubator Emergo. He said it's an open debate about what makes us competitive and what will bring new users into the ecosystem and what's commercially critical infrastructure, and that's an ecosystem play. So it means Emergo has to step up. It means the foundation has to step up. And this is what they were funded for and why they exist. Without reading any further, you can see this isn't even all the way down the screen. I assume this conversation went on for quite a bit. So, this is okay, how do I put this into English? There are a lot of people who believe that Cardano is going to be the strongest, bestest, fastest, coolest, megaist cryptocurrency blockchain platform on the planet. I keep seeing, I don't know if you keep seeing, tons of people on the interwebs who are constantly talking about that Cardano is going to hit $10 this year. I will tell you right now, if you goggle it, and you type in Cardano $10 2017, you'll find articles for it. You'll find it for 2018. You'll also find it for 2019, and you'll also find it for 2020. Everyone constantly believes that Cardano is at some point going to hit $10, but there's usually predictions that it's going to happen that year and not the next year. So one can only assume if it does not happen this year, we will also be hearing a 2021 story for it as well. I try to remain as centered as possible. For those of you not looking at the screen, remember I mentioned last year and this year, you really gotta make sure that things kind of happen with all of these projects, because the internet exists and people can find when you said stuff. For those of you not looking at the screen, 27th of April, 2019, it says Cardano's Charles Hoskinson says he will eat his shoe if Shelley does not happen this year. That was last year. And he didn't mean the testnet. He meant Shelly. Even here. And I quote, Shelly will happen this year 100%. I will eat my own shoe if it does not. So we've heard a lot of promises before from many different blockchain companies. I do believe that at some point Shelly will probably get full BAM release off of the testnet. I don't know if it's going to happen this year. I do at some point possibly consider the possibility of Cardano hitting $3. I don't know if it's going to happen this year. Do I believe that Cardano will become the best cryptocurrency in the world this year, or the next year, or the year after that? No. You can't see me shaking my head, but my head is being shooketh right now. We'll see exactly how this ends up turning out, because this seems to happen fairly often, and it's only helping me to build my case around Bitcoin as the coin for the future, because just about, and you know it's the truth, every other major blockchain company has at some point said that they were going to do something. It didn't end up happening. And it's more like they keep releasing news that this year is going to be the year. But then when that year passes, they re-release that news and the industry kind of goes crazy, expecting that year to be the year when even the last 5 years weren't the year. That's the 2019 Eat My Shoe portion of it. And without further ado, let's move into something that ties almost seamlessly directly into it. According to Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin, the Ethereum 2.0 team will likely move ahead with multi-client testnets in April. Ethereum 2.0 specifications recently underwent an audit by technology security firm Least Authority, which highlighted the protocol's peer-to-peer messaging system and the block producer system as two areas with potential security vulnerabilities. In response to the report, Buterin said to The Block that the ETH 2.0 team is currently working to address these problems, although it might require long-term efforts rather than immediate revisions. Least Authority raised concerns over the spam problem in the protocol's peer-to-peer messaging system and recommended the implementation of a fully bar-resilient gossip protocol to prevent malicious spamming. According to Buterin, the issue was also present, there we go, English is weird, in the existing ETH 1.0 framework and was only mitigated over time. He expects the same to take place for ETH 2.0. He said, in general, we definitely take network security anti-spam seriously. ETH 1 has taken some time to harden its network layer, and there are currently a lot of eyes on networking issues, so I expect DOS services to be mitigated over time. Where's the other part? The second security vulnerability identified in the report concerns potential information leaks with ETH 2.0's block proposer system. Buterin claimed that the team is taking seriously Least Authority's recommendations and using a single secret leader election mechanism to conceal the selection process. Now that the auditing process has been completed, the next steps are to carry out multi-client testnets in a Phase 0 bug bounty program, according to ETH 2.0 project lead Danny Ryan. Speaking to The Block, Buterin revealed that the major push for multi-client testnets would likely happen in April. Without having to read much further, it appears as though tomorrow, today, the next day after that, sometime in April, we will see the test nets begin for Ethereum 2.0. I do hope that the time frame remains the same, i.e., we were hearing, that Ethereum 2.0's Phase 0 is expected to launch in July. That is April, May, June. Seems possible. 3.5 months, 90 days, 90. I'll give them a good 105 days to see if this actually ends up launching. This is, once again, not the first time that we've heard things like this, We are many years behind when Ethereum 2.0 was supposed to have launched. However, I would actually love nothing more. You know what would be my ideal 2020? First of all, to get the heck out of the house. Second, it would be to have not only Bitcoin's halving happen, for Ethereum 2.0 to launch, for Shelly to finally become Shelly. I would love like 5 more banks to officially, and or companies, sign up to start using XRP. And I would like for Litecoin to have proper obfuscated transactions. I think that would actually be the ideal cryptocurrency 2020 for me. I try to hold on. I try to not be super cynical, but you have to understand, when you go through the news every single day and you keep all this stuff in, it's somewhere in the back of my head, all the things that I've read. You have to understand, if imagine if you had a friend and your friend borrowed your car. You saw that friend over the course of 1,000 days, and every time you saw that friend, they kept on telling you the car was at their mother's house, the car was at their friend's house, they forgot to bring the car has no petrol, the car has this, it rained on the car, and they didn't want you to see the car when it had rain on it. They decided to put a new color on the car. Their girlfriend has the car has a flat tire, and you keep trying to believe every day that you're going to get that car back, and at some point your brain just goes, I'm probably never going to see my car again. So that's happening a lot with many different cryptocurrency projects. I know people out there get frustrated when I talk negatively about certain cryptocurrency projects, but like I said, I've been here for a while. I've heard all the nonsense already. If you want to do the research yourself, by all means, look on any search platform you use to get your information and look up stuff that the people from Cardano have been saying since 2017. They're also 3 years behind. Ethereum is about 5 years behind. XRP is about a good year and a half behind as well, if not a year, as far as all the things that should have taken place. Like I said, I know that this is all technology. It takes a while to update things. We did not go from Windows 95 to the operating systems that we have right now overnight. It does take a while, but at least don't give us a time frame. When you give a time frame and say that something's going to happen by X date or X time or X month, and then it doesn't happen, or you say that by the end of 2018 something's going to happen and then it doesn't happen, it doesn't look nicer. Anyway, that's the Ethereum Phase 0 multi-client 2.0 testnet live, probably April. Yeah, let's move on. Next up, on Sunday, the Central Bank of Egypt announced it had instructed financial institutions in the country to put withdrawal limits in place for cash. Regional reports disclose that Egyptian residents can only withdraw roughly around $640 and businesses can only withdraw around $3,200 US. The Central Bank of Egypt said that this is happening because of the current world situation, and apparently ATM withdrawals are limited to £5,000 per. That's Egyptian pounds. Ooh. Okay, see, that's even less. The global economy has been suffering from everything that's been taking place the last couple of weeks. Over the past instance in March, and told the public, patriots, and withdrawals in cash. Now Egyptians are facing the same cash issues, and the country's central bank is imposing cash withdrawal limits across the board. In addition to the withdrawal limits imposed, the CBE's Tariq Amer told reporters on Sunday via TV that Egypt is facing a cash problem. Amer disclosed that there are roughly 26 billion pounds being transferred out of Egypt to international banks, and Egyptian travelers are also taking lots of cash with them when they travel abroad. However, local media quickly pointed out that Egyptian expat remittances were well over 26 billion pounds and were actually closer to 34 billion pounds. The point is, this is the always the beginning of the beginning of the beginning of the end. They chop away slowly to make you think that nothing's going wrong until you realize something is wrong, and then you can no longer get your money out of the bank. This is not the first thing, the first country, the first place that we've spoken about this year that has introduced similar measures. While it may sound nice, I mean, it doesn't really sound... I'd like to be able to get as much money out of the bank as I want at one point. Having a withdrawal limit is usually the first indication that things are bad. When the government has to go on the air saying that they have a cash problem, that means that things are actually really bad. I assume that within the next couple of weeks, this will probably get worse. None of the things that are currently happening in the world are going to be disappearing within the next 2 weeks, not even 3 weeks, maybe 3.5 weeks. Still kind of shaky. The other thing on top of all of this as well is that I don't know if you've been realizing a lot of the stuff that we're talking about are just the economic hardships, drawbacks from things that are currently happening in the world and the loss of jobs and the loss of this. A lot of people have, I think, seemingly forgotten that the world is also trillions and trillions of dollars in debt that will never, ever, ever be paid back. Which is also a very big thing because there's also a crisis for that. Not even building up, it's here, but it's easy to kind of push further to the side because as long as you continue printing more money, the debt problem goes behind a very thin veil and no one can really see it anymore. So, yeah, look forward. I mean, don't look forward to this at all, but it's more like countries around the world. First of all, we are officially in a recession. Stocks keep popping up. I think that's the official word for it. Not the official word for it. They go up a little bit, and then they slide back down. A lot of people and analysts believe that any movements that we see up right now are not actual long-term movements. It's the same. If you've never looked at charts for 2008 and 2009 in the stock market, there were so many little like movements up that looked like the market was recovering, but it never actually recovered. It just kept on kind of going down for a while. So, yeah, this is happening all over the place. I wonder how this will all end. I really do mean that in complete honesty. I wonder how low stock markets will go. I wonder if cryptocurrencies will react the way that we are expecting them to. U.S. mortgage industry could collapse as housing crisis looms. It's not looking good. And the fact is, when this crash happens or continues happening, in 5 years, people will have forgotten, and people will be trying to take out free money once again. And I don't think anything in our system is really going to change. I think a change will have to be forced, and this current downward movement will have to be really dramatically hostile in order for people to really even think of moving over to crypto. But I think that will happen with time, without spending too much time on this topic. Yeah, this is why money is leaving that country at record speeds, because I'm pretty sure people there also realize what's going on. It's the same exact thing that happened a couple of years ago in China, when China was showing that their economy was also slowing down, and people were moving all their money to the US, Australia, and the UK, and then property prices in Australia, the US, and the UK were going up because people from China were buying tons of property because they realized something wasn't right. Anyway, yeah, let's move on. Next up, according to Glassnode Studio, the number of wallets users with at least one Bitcoin has hit 788,000, 755,000. The number has seen an exponential rise in the past few hours. The number of addresses with a minimum of one Bitcoin has been increasing since 2009, logically, with very little downside. one would expect the number of Bitcoin wallets to go down, especially amid the Bitcoin price drop from 10,000 to around 3,500 on some exchanges. This would seem to indicate that the majority of Bitcoin holders are still holding, or even that there are more holders now than before. I mean, I just got a headache. It definitely seems that people are simply storing Bitcoin, and the recent crash was a great opportunity to buy the digital asset at a huge discount. Additionally, according to Glassnode, exchange balances are dropping quickly and are at the lowest since December 2019. This seems to further indicate that people have moved into holding Bitcoin. We spoke about this a couple of days ago as well. The number was not that high yet, as far as 788, 755. We're seeing a massive uptick in more than, or rather at least, one Bitcoin inside of a wallet. It could either be that people are taking their money off of cryptocurrency exchanges. We already had that discussion as far as to maybe what you should potentially start thinking about doing. The other part is, I think there's also probably a smoothing out isn't the word, like a reallocation kind of thing. A lot of people, if you have 10, 15 Bitcoin, probably shouldn't have all of it inside of just one wallet. It is extremely unsafe. You do not want to have a situation where you lose a ledger, lose a computer, and all 15 of your Bitcoin are gone. You'd be depressed for a while. You'd be even more depressed if Bitcoin ever hits 1 million. You will be sitting in the corner crying. So, yeah, this is only, I assume this is only going to increase as time goes on. A lot of people, especially people who watch the channel, people in the comment section have been telling me for a while that their main goal has been always to have over 1 Bitcoin. And I assume a lot of people have gotten there as time has gone on. One of my friends shocked me the other day when he bought 1/4 of a Bitcoin, and I was like, woof, already part of the 1%. Anyway, yeah, this is only going to continue, I think, rising. And also never forget that rich people are also buying tons of Bitcoin as well, usually multiple per day. So it's not just that there are only 788,000 people, is that some of those addresses also have 3,000 Bitcoin, 28 Bitcoin. You know the deal. Yeah, let's move on. For some reason, in why was this everywhere news, OKCoin has received a license to work in Japan and will soon launch its exchange service for individuals and businesses in the country. OKCoin, the premier cryptocurrency trading exchange, just read that. While this may not sound like a big deal, there are many reasons to consider this as one of the major events in cryptocurrency in 2020. Its Tokyo unit OKCoin Japan obtained the license without recourse to either partnership or synergy. That doesn't make any sense. This is the first of its kind in the country. Going solo, OKCoin has achieved a +1 in the eyes of many within the crypto space. And who wrote this article? The move will also open strategic doors for the crypto space as adoption becomes easier with a standalone exchange. Japan is a strategic market for the crypto space. It was one of the earliest adopters of the technology. The Japanese... I can't read anymore. This is hurting my brain. Yeah, OKCoin has a license to open an exchange in Japan. There were about 35 different websites talking about this. I know the significance of OKCoin, and I know the significance the same way as Binance, the Gemini twins, and Coinbase, if they had opened in Japan. But I just kind of feel like it shouldn't have been headline news all over the place, but it was. Anyway, yeah, so OKCoin is opening up in Japan. If you are in Japan and you've been looking for a crypto exchange, not like the other 20 that don't already exist in Japan, if you were looking for one that started with the letter O, I have great news for you. You can finally buy crypto. Yeah, I mean, this... Sure. Let's move on. And to finish things off, a series of allegedly fake sites built to generate QR codes have stolen Bitcoin from unsuspecting users. The total amount of money stolen exceeds around $45,000, all of which has been taken over the last 4 weeks. It's an unfortunate fact that so much has been stolen when Bitcoin has lost so much of its value. I don't think it has to do anything with Bitcoin losing its value. It's the fact that people were thieved. Traders have enough to worry about with the economic problems occurring that are bringing Bitcoin's price and blah, blah, blah. Noting that so many investors lost their portfolio, the website in question gave people the option of entering the addresses of their Bitcoin wallet. From there, the wallet address is converted into a QR code that can be saved onto their other digital devices, their laptops, smartphones, etc. The QR code makes it so that users can send and receive Bitcoin in the future just by scanning the code rather than having to copy and paste the address they've been strapped with. Wallet addresses have proven difficult in the past considering just how sensitive they are. These addresses are composed of several letters and numbers, granting one... The point is, scams are abound. Please just... I want to say think logically, but I think it's a bit more than that. When you are downloading an app from an app store, make sure that said app is the actual real app. And I know that sounds stupid, but there are multiple fakes of apps, and you have to do your own due diligence to make sure that you are going to be acquiring the correct one. And also, I mean, if there's a website that is giving you a QR code to scan to send your money to your own wallet, just don't do it. I mean, would you trust any other website telling you to... Imagine if there was a website that popped up and it's like, scan this QR code and send money from your bank account to your other bank account. You'd be like, oh, I'll definitely do that. That sounds amazing. How convenient is that? No, it's probably a scam. So it's... I don't have to baby anyone. You all know. Just make sure that whatever you're using is correct, is legitimate. Only try to download things directly from well-known sites before you download anything. Do a search on it. See other... the word is in recommendations. It's like when people give their opinion on it. See how other people think. If they have... Always, if people have trouble withdrawing, depositing, getting their own money, transferring their money around, if you see any of these things, those are red flags. Don't use them. And also anything that's generating a QR code for you on a website that isn't Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, or the Gemini twins, just be wary. Yeah. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Yasha Harari, Moonman High XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Stoyer, Josh Corsica, Chongololo, Tsongololo, Nostromo, Mr. Pickles, John Sarson, Yan Marita, Bibliophobia, Bare Bones Mining, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohamed Maroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight, Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Mill Weezy, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Nicholas, 101 Peace and Love, Damien, Setsuna, Nick, Kanai, Wish You Wish the Third, Vlad the Impaler, Crypto Bitch, Shipmate, there we go, Paxist, Nick Manj, Yellow Anthony, Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, his chest every day, and Kyle skips leg day. Yes to crypto. Bodeming, Boatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Arfmedic17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Machinista, on crypto with Lino, on crypto. Nope, Crayla Michelle, URL, and hold on, I have to sneeze. Did it in 2 breaths. Woo! Thank you all very, very much for your support. Weird times. It just kind of is what it is. At least the crypto industry is never really boring, is kind of the word that I want to use. We'll see exactly why is waves. We'll see what ends up happening as the rest of this week goes ahead. We're seeing slightly optimistically bullishy movements. I don't think they're bullish at all. I think a lot of the stuff that we have in the cryptocurrency market is just like normal swings as prices move sideways, but we'll see exactly how that ends up going forward. Do you think that Cardano will beat Bitcoin this year? Like I have my own opinions on a lot of things, but I always like to hear from other people, because maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe I'm just not. Yeah. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, or great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.